So I just recreated out of that. Maybe. Good evening, everyone. Welcome down to Cranky Sam. We're going to get started with trivia here in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for your patience, folks. That's some epic fails on the tech side of things. But again, we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. If you'd like to play along with us, come on up to the table. We'll get you sorted with 4 slips and a pen. Again, we'll start here in, let's say, 1 minute. 1 minute call to start trivia. One per team, or 4 per team, 1 per round per team. Four per team, 1 per team per. You can also do that. That's fine. Easier. This is your first time down here. The 10 questions, each question worth 1 point. So I just sneak in one little bonus point in there as well. Also, you can start 1 round. If you look at the top corner of your sheet, you'll see a little star with a question mark. You circle the hell out of that star, that will double your points for that round, which is a good thing. We don't do any repeats, so please take notes as we move through. Prizes, first place, a $30 credit card. Second place, $20. Third place is surprise prize. And we haven't even done the prize for the best team name. So come up with something ridiculous if you want some dumb prize. We only have 4 rules down here, so please follow them. Wait till they pop up here. First of all, no cell phones out during rounds at all, please. Also, we do have a 6-person team limit. If you have more than 6 people, that's fine. You can still play, but you can't win our craptastic prizes. Please also note that very clearly at the top of your first sheet, more than 6. Please keep your answers quiet. Don't shout anything out. And last but most importantly, relax. It is just trivia. We're going to have 4 very different rounds here tonight. So do not panic your little pretty heads about it. With all that being said, make sure your team name is at the top. We're going to go ahead and get started with our first round here as soon as these TVs catch up with the pooter. First round tonight will be new news. This is 10 questions from things that have happened or were announced in the last 7 days. 7 days, new news. And so let's dive into round number 1 in our new news round. Question number 1, a private lunar lander from what country crashed while attempting a touchdown on the surface that's of the moon, obviously lunar lander, on Friday? Name that country. "26-second delay." I tried to reset that one. It was even longer.
Yeah, try again.
Yeah, if you want to try them, that's fine. I just, okay, yeah. Yeah, so it'll be about 26 seconds from here. Now we got to wait for 15 to announce 10 seconds. All right, folks, we're going to move on to our next question in about 10 seconds. You will have time at the end of the round, though, so please feel free to take some notes. So we move on to question number 2 here sooner than later in our new news round. Question number 2. Drag performers plan to protest Trump and Vance's attendance at what show? Ironically, about protesters over tyrannical leaders and over policing at the Kennedy Center. Name that show. Give me about 10 more seconds. So take some notes. 2 minutes at the end of the round. And here's question number 3. All the members of what agency's vaccine advisory committee? Name that agency. Second. Our question number 4. Yes, please. Clouds. Question number 4. This one has a possible bonus point. At the 78th annual Tony Awards last Sunday, what show won Best Musical and or which won Best Play? So you can put either the Best Musical or the Best Play. If you know both, you get a bonus point. Oh, it's okay. When I'm always yapping my mouth, it's hard to find a break anyway. Ask my family. Notes, you'll have plenty of time at the end. Five in new news and things that happened in the last week. Israeli forces seized a Gaza-bound boat and detained its passengers, including what famous climate and political activists. Name that activist. And second, folks. Woman is on trial for murdering her estranged in-laws using amygdaloides, better known as what? And because this is trivia, make sure to be as specific as possible. Question number 7 in new news. The settlement in House v. What organization? Tradition of amateurism. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. I, I'm glad you don't have anything else to do. I'm glad you don't have anything else to do. Let's move on to question number 8. A Navy ship named after what gay rights leader, San Francisco politician, and Navy vet is due to be changed by officials? Name that politician of named after that Navy or that Navy ship is named after. And seconds. Question, not all the TV. Question number 9. Alleged that dozens of Biden's pardons are void because what was used in the process of making those pardons? And finally, question number 10 in our new news. What two icons of 20th century music, both are both of them were part of groups with other family members and known for their substance use disorders, and they both died at 82 this last week. Name both of those to get the point. Musical icons. Right here for me, ma'am. Thank you, dude. All right, folks, that is our last question. So we'll wait till it switches over here. Sweating and I'm just sitting here. This is sad. Thank you. All right, folks. I'm going to give you 2 minutes starting right now to check over all your answers, get your slips turned in upside down in front of our third place prize that is a very disturbing little girl holding a calf. I don't want to know what she's going to do with that baby cow. Make video out of it. No, look at her. I love cow.
Okay, you want to like my name tonight.
Okay, let me see it. Thank you. Plus, folks, don't forget about that star. That'll double your points for this round. One minute down, 1 minute to go. You. Yeah. No, you're breathing. I have a note that I have to close now because okay. I will check it out. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. The screens are currently 32 seconds behind what I do on the computer. It's really hard to like. Looking fine from where we are. Well, that must be nice. I'm telling you, up here it looks like hot, wet garbage. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, Mike, if you have a second, we're up to like 45 seconds now. All right, we'll give it a shot. One second, real quick here. Okay. Take it three, that's right. Four. What's that? 20 seconds now. Yeah, and I mean, even my phone keeps about. Like even my phone keeps getting kicked off the internet. Half the TVs start scrolling in the middle too. Oh, that's okay. All right, we'll still go through it. People can be chill.
Checking this last one.
10, better than 43. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for your patience. We have 28 teams tonight. That means 280 questions for me to score. This TV, well, some of them seem to be caught up a little better than others, but anyway, we'll try to do our best. If you need a question repeated tonight, if the TVs are being boobies, let me know. Japan had a rover crash on the moon. Japan, Nippon. I think some people got confused. Drag performers were going to attend a show that Trump was going to. A lot of you said RuPaul's Drag Race. Les Miserables, a play all about people protesting. And they all get killed at the end and they're left as heroes. Slightly ironic. Just me? A little too ironic, yeah, I really do think. RFK fired all the members of the Vaccine Advisory Committee of the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Who are these people that know about vaccines at the CDC? Waste, fraud, and abuse. All right, 78 Tony Awards. You guys do know Tonys are for plays, right? A lot of people said Wicked. That came out like 20 years ago. Musical was called Maybe Happy Ending, and the play was called Purpose. That's why I gave you an either or option, because hell, I've heard of those. A boat of passengers were seized, including activist Greta Thunberg. That'll learn her. Right, folks, again, this is trivia, so we want to be very specific. I even gave you the correct name there, Anamita. Looking for death cap mushrooms. For those of you that said poison mushrooms, that's great, but you didn't get a point. I still love you, though, just not in that way. This case, House B ends the traditional amateurism. NCAA. Can I just say, I love this crew because 3 teams, I couldn't take it, with NAACP. And to be honest, I always keep track and I write my own little answer sheet. I put NAACP on it as well. So why? Because I don't give a fart about sports ball. All right, we're talking about a gay rights advocate. San Francisco would have been a big key there. That was Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk. Yeah, they're both off. Question number 9. Again, folks, we'll do our best to keep these TVs going, but you can just listen to my dulcet, sultry tones as well. Trump alleges that all these things can't be used anymore because they were, you know where we should be at now. They were signed with an auto pen. Signed with auto pen. If you said copy and paste it digitally, not the same thing, but you were on the right track. And last but not least, we have 2 icons of music that died just in a few days of each other. They were both all that stuff. That's Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone and Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Thank you. So with that being said, let's check your score, see how you're doing up there. Scores will pop up here eventually, I promise. Oh, there we go. Now it's going to skip around for quite a while. It must be a Wednesday. Yeah, what did you got? Harvey Milk, Auto Pen, Library, Western, Greta, and CDC. You did great. Yeah. All right, folks, here we are actually at the top of the list. Kind of hard to tell there. But in first place is LA Hope. For second place, they have used their star now. In second place is Overthinkers Anonymous with 9. And we have 4 folks tied in third. Not the sharpest bulb, Old Missoula, Chlamydia Del Arte, and Reed's Worst Nightmare. I give out my best team name prizes over things that are witty and fun and a little naughty. So obviously this week it's going to, what was it, Missoula Trivia Group? Boo! The winner is Chlamydia Del Arte. Come on up and get your crappy prize. It is a stuffed wolf gargoyle dragon thing. I don't know. Oh, I left the price tag on. Don't tell anybody how much I spend on this garbage for you guys. All right, folks, we're going to just slide right on through here as quickly as we can to move on to round number 2. Round number 2 is our random round. So here's the deal, folks. Because all the TVs are on different things, make sure to listen to the question as I read it. You'll still have as much time of it on the screen as before, but fortunately, we're at 5 different timings here. So we're just going to kind of flow through, do our best to keep everything going. These are 10 random questions, though, for you to keep up with. And question number 1 is, it'll pop up for all of you eventually here. What nationality was Anne Frank? We're on 6 different times now. About it. All right, folks, we are going to move on in 10 seconds. Hopefully, we're going to try to reset all these TVs again. If not, we might have to do this orally. Though we do have a photo round, so that'll be interesting. Either orally and orally at the same time, you creep. I would love to, yeah. Yeah. So we're going to try to reset all these guys again really quick. Sorry about that. Don't want anybody to have an advantage because they had it longer. When this just turned over, it should have been like a few minutes ago. All right, I think most of us can see question number 2. What large Ontario city is located seemingly far south of the Canadian border, just across the Detroit River from Detroit? Name that Ontario city. Ontarian? Ontarescan? Ontario? Ontarius. Ontarius Maximus. Call that 10 seconds and see how we do here. Question number 3. Oh, good. What French term describes bite-sized hors d'oeuvre or appetizers served before the main course in fine dining? Hey, by the way, spelling does not matter down here, but it does need to be phonetically correct, especially not spelling French. Question number 4 in our random round. The final and most popular lineup of the girl group Destiny's Child Knowles, Michelle Williams, and what third member? Keon Beyonce. And second. Question number 5. The recent Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning marks what numbered installment in the Mission Impossible movie series? That is, counting that one, how many movies are there? Let's focus on 2 minutes at the end. Question number 6. In random, what name is given to the lowest layer of the atmosphere where we live and where weather phenomena like clouds, rain, and storms occur? What part of the atmosphere is that? Scientifically, not just what your grandma calls it. Question number 7, random round. What do we refer to the animal that is called a Roman bird in Arabic, a French bird in Greek, an Indian chicken in French, and a Peru bird in Hindi? Question number 9, random. What fashion designer was creative director at Gucci, launched his own eponymous brand in 2005, and also wrote and directed the 2009 Oscar nominated film A Single Man? Busy Little Beaver. Seconds. right, some of us have this question now around. We'll get it fixed later. This is question number 9. Three Forks, Montana is the confluence point where the Jefferson, Madison, and what non-presidentially named river converge to form the Missouri? Notes to, if you need to, we'll be moving on to question number 10 eventually. Wait for a couple other screens to pick up. You'll probably need this list. It'll pop up for everybody here soon, but here's the question for number 10. A batter can reach first base in baseball. This is the only sports ball question you get, by the way, so celebrate it. In 7 different ways: a hit, a walk, an error, a fielder's choice, being hit by a pitch, a defensive interference, and what final way? What is the magic 7 for people to get to first? I didn't know it. I grew up with baseball. All right, folks, this 10th question won't last long, so take some notes if you need to. Once it's cleared of all the screens, your 2 minutes to get your slips turned in will start. Don't forget about those stars that will double your points for this round. It's literally.
Intentional base on balls, things along.
I don't fucking know, man.
Okay.
I looked up like 7 different things, including the MLB's listing
We
on the MLB website, and it gave me.
for a challenge for we couldn't agree on which one.
Okay, well, there's one that wasn't listed there that is absolutely one. So. But folks, you have 1 minute down, 1 minute more to get all those slips checked. Also, please do me a favor for these next 2 rounds. Can you just look at your person's handwriting and decide if they look like a teenage serial killer? Please have somebody else write the answers. This is a mess. Some of them. Right there. All right, everybody, all those slips should be up by now. I'll get all these scored as quickly as possible, then we'll check those answers. Move right along to round number 3. Will be a photo round. Like, a new round.
Yeah, what do you have?
No, I'll just do your Highland Pike Classic if you don't mind with the work. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, thank you. Ugh. Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We start at 5:30 down there. They're going to have the announcement at 5:15. All right, folks. Again, thank you all so very much for your patience. We'll see if the interwebs and TVs will work with us here. Question number one: what nationality was Anne Frank? Though she died in the Netherlands, well, she died in Poland, but she was German, and the family fled to the Netherlands. That large Ontario city just south of Detroit is called Windsor. Windsor. This one got hard because the French have a name for they have 17 tiers of stuff. But the little bit of food you get just before the main course in fine dining has a specific term called the amuse-bouche, mouth amuser. That was my nickname in high school. Big Jose Williams and Kelly Rowland was her name, Kelly Rowland. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning means it's number 8 in the series. There's been 7 other ones. We got some really interesting. Everybody put sphere at the end. One person put the biggest sphere. I really like. There's a lot of things we describe with sphere, but what we're specifically talking about is the troposphere. A few teams put toposphere. Topos is like the top of the trees, like a topiary. Toposphere. We need a troposphere. A Roman bird, a French bird, an Indian chicken. It's not turkey. And my favorite fact is that in Turkey, a turkey is called hindi. Yeah, they're from America. They're from the Americas. Fashion designer and director and writer Tom Ford is his name. Tom Ford. Three Forks, Kentucky has the Jefferson, Madison, and Gallatin coming together to form the Missouri. And folks, for the sake of time and the fact that I really just don't care, this came straight off the MLB website. The answer did. So if you have a different opinion, please call the Major League Baseball. That's a dropped third pitch. That's the seventh way to go. If you drop the third pitch, that sends them straight to first. You can argue amongst yourselves. I love a good, hearty argument that I don't have to be a part of. And please remember rule number 4, it's just trivia. Let's check your scores and see how now our 30 teams did after 2 rounds. Geez, only 2. By the way, folks, if you see one of those scores bolded, that means they've used their star. And if you see a plus sign after it, that means their team has more than 6 people. We're glad they're here playing, but they're not in for this. Again, folks, next time you turn in a slip, please check out this creepy little girl statue that's third place. She's been haunting my soul in my room, and I'm really glad to get rid of her. All right, it was a rough round for Ladial, but still in first place is LA Hope with a total of 22 points. Tied for second is Not the Sharpest Gold and Overthinkers Anonymous. And in third place right now is Only in Missoula. All that will probably change as we move on to round number 3 tonight. In pseudo honor of us putting out a great beer called Brennan's Wave. It's going to be Montana Blonde. That'll be down in Karis Park tomorrow evening at a party right here at the brewery. I'm going to ask you about things that don't usually have that many waves. That is lakes of the western U.S. Here's the deal with this. Please listen up. I tried to put as many details on the map as possible to give you a clue, but still leave the actual lake and area big. So some of these are going to be kind of small. If you know the region, you should know the lake. Also, some lakes, some like reservoirs are referred to as lakes. Sometimes like the Caspian Sea is the largest lake in the world. We call it a sea. So keep that in mind as we go through anything that is termed scientifically a lake, even a reservoir, could be on this list. And so let's move on to question number 1. I hope that this is straight and forward enough for you. Name this lake.
And it's pretty straightforward for the first time.
There's a lot from Montana. There's like, there's no half these other stupid ones. I was going to the lake for the world, and I was like, that's too much. What's that?
Wanted to do like a one bears in the animals. I was like, here's a bird biologist for 2 years.
I can go. Here's the problem with trivia. 10 seconds is that a fun fact is not necessarily a good trivia question. So knowing like the difference in black and brown bear, I think would be fine testing, or black and grizzly, but sometimes being like, brown bear hibernates for how long? Question number 2. Again, try to give you as many details as possible. Name that western U.S. lake. Thank you for the offer, by the way. I didn't mean to shut you down, but a lot of times people are like, oh, did you hear about this really silly thing? And I'm like, yeah, but with the, yeah. And I'll tell you, some people run their trivias like that. I find it really frustrating. My dog. 10 seconds, folks. We'll move on in 10 seconds. There won't be any repeats on these, so take notes or make guesses now. Moving on to question number 3. Name that lake. By the way, you don't have to write lake every time since they're all lakes. I'm doing it anyway. I like that. Question number 4. Hey. By the way, I'm sorry to folks who are out of town, but this is quite Montana centric, more or less. Still, like, give a fart about California lakes. We're going to move on here, though, soon to number 5. Hey, hey. It's quiet, folks. Seconds. Lake. Sorry, that lake. Number 9. Exactly. Unfortunately, I was going to ask about like Lake Inez for the last one, just to be a prick, because there's so many of those tiny lakes. Then I had to remake these slides, so I was like, oh, just make the last one easy because I already have this picture up.
No, this is a good one.
10 seconds. And finally, the kindest thing I can do. Frankly, my other maps failed. Number 10, name that lake. But here's the deal: the Bucks, they stay up batting unless it's their fourth ball. all the other players move around, but the batter stays at the plate. Even if it's Google it, Tim. I'm telling you. I did. I looked it up. It was like, boxers are thinking that. But all the other players move one around. But if it's the fourth ball, it doesn't count as a ball. Some people said like a bunt, but I'm like, a bunt's not like hit. So, like, all right, those are 2 minutes. Get on your subs, turn in, start. Final round, please. Yeah. Target those possible stars. I looked at about 5 seconds or so, get all those slips turned in. And last call for some please. Last call. I think go back in there. Thank you.
Okay with that.
MLB, like, stat page. So, ball. It's already happened back in. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I would do it myself, but we're a little behind tonight. Not that that's not my fault either, but
Are you just calling out the winners?
no, we have a whole other round after this. Sorry, that's how far behind we are.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, you know. Okay. It's not. It's not. It's one of those days. Three seconds. See that might work. Awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry, we're almost through. I'm gonna do a speed round and this garbage. All right, folks. Thanks again for your patience. Schultz from a gold star for your patience. I thank God for alcohol because wouldn't like to see you guys when you're angry. Yeah, I said I wouldn't want to see you, so please stay where you are. Let's check those answers, see how everybody did. Again, we might be a little behind on some screens. Shockingly, most of you knew this. Up in Utah, it's called Great Salt Lake. You may have heard of it. No big deal. Had a lot of people put, like, in their little notes section on the side, like, down near Yellowstone, and then a question mark. That's because it's Yellowstone Lake. That is the name of the lake, Yellowstone. And for picking there on the California and Nevada border, that is good old. Listen, I don't mean to be insulting, but just like they called my mom when I was growing up, Tahoe. She Tahoe. Oh, Tahoe. Did a couple up here from Mint Glacier. I was trying to kind of be nicer to some of us that live around here. That is Lake McDonald. McDonald. Not a single golden arches nearby, though. What's wrong with this country? This park sucks. It's not even a Dippin' Dots. So right there at the end of the Grand Canyon on the Nevada border, look at Lake Mead. That is Lake Mead, formed by the Hoover Dam. You're down in southwestern Oregon. We're looking for Crater Lake, a perfectly circular little lake down there. Crater Lake. And that is not necessarily called a lake all the time because that's the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea. It's toxic and gross and smells real bad. Go Merca. I was going to make this way harder for you guys, but frankly, part of our late start today was a bunch of these files crashed. I decided to do some easy ones. This is St. Mary. St. Mary on the east side of Glaciers going to the Sun Road. Want y'all to look at this one again for a second, because most of you, once it goes over here, most of you said Coeur d'Alene. But if you know where Missoula is and you know how to get to Coeur d'Alene, it's pretty far north. Coeur d'Alene, though it seems big from the road, is not actually that big of a lake. believe it's the largest lake in Idaho, Utah. That is eventually here. That is Lake Pend Oreille. Lake Pend Oreille. I was going to ask you about like Lake Inez, which is an itsy bitsy tiny lake in the Sealy Swan amongst dozens of other itsy bitsy lakes. I didn't though, because I remembered what my fourth round is, and I said it to be nice to you. So I think everybody on one team knew that this last one was. When we get there, if you're only looking at number 9, you can see it over there on the side. That is Flathead Lake. Flathead Lake. Oh my Lord! So I only spent like 14 hours to try to make this smooth and cool. So when the TV started going off, I'm like, away. Oh my God, well, then I apologize. You're seeing me in such poor form. This is literally just like my shittiest rounds we've had in a long time. All right, folks, eventually these scoreboards should pop up for you, depending on which team. Just want to remind you that if you haven't used your star yet, please use your star now. Circle it now. I will not automatically star you. And in case you didn't get my subtle hints, this last round is a bit of a turd. Not as bad as I can be sometimes, just to be very clear, but it's based on like TV and movies, but not in any kind of fun way, in like a really shitty way. Also, folks, for the sake of time, because of the problems we've had tonight, we will make this a speed round. I'll explain what that is in a second here once we're all caught up. And I think most of y'all can see the top list here. We have a tie for first place currently with Overthinkers Anonymous and Not the Sharpest Bull with 32 points. Quizzical Fart, I know what that word is, Quocus. They have 29 points. And then in third place, hey, did we miss you? Or did I get
we were just a little.
Oh, that's good. Let's double check. Okay, let me check for you here. Just 2 seconds here. It's one of those nights. Because once I get in a little bit of a panic, I start making stupid mistakes too. So I'm sorry about that. Let's check though. Just going to check on one score here. And then, folks, we're going to dive into our fourth round. Fictional radio stations in TV and film. I warn you. Some of them are fun, some of them are impossible. Overthinkers. You're probably on the bottom, which is how it works out when you have a night like this. You should be on the top, though, if you're on the bottom.
Maybe it'll work. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you work. You have Lake Powell.
Yeah.
And yeah, for some reason I marked you on Flathead,
Okay.
which is totally, thanks for checking in. Yeah. It's called Flathead, not Flathead. No. By the way, Overthinkers are officially in first place. Okay, so folks, I'm going to give you a quick clue. This will be a speed round, though, so here's how that goes. I'll only give you about 30 seconds per question, and you will only have 1 minute to get all your slips up, okay? So again, these are fictional radio stations. I'll give you clue. I will give you the call signs of the station. Most of the time, I can give you the city and state where it's located, and I'll give you some kind of clue about that station. The other hint I can give you is most of the early ones are all TV shows that might mix together toward the end into film. So all you need to do is name the show or film that these fictional stations are from, and we'll get there eventually. No, I get it to you. Look at the, oh, you can't see all the screens right now. That's okay. We're looking for the name of the show. I will simmer down there, Bubba. You're okay. Remember, it's just trivia. Looking for the name of the TV show or movie. Yep, just to be clear. Mike, help me. Can you try again? Sorry. Oh, no, I know the answers. All right, I think you can all see that we're talking about KACL 780 AM, Seattle, Washington. It's talk radio, self-help, sports, and for a short time, salsa music. Name the TV show or movie that this station was featured on. If you don't know this one, good luck. Give me one more cashmere, please. If you have a chance, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. 10 seconds on our speed round here, even though the TVs might not be caught up. We're now hypothetically moving on to question number 2 for most of you. Question number 2's up on a couple of TVs, so I'll just read out KBHR 570 AM. That's from Sicily, Alaska, local news for a few locals, including one doctor. Name that TV show or movie. All of them, yeah. Wait, 6 FM, San Francisco, California. Two iconic uncles worked there. That's your clue. In television is the category. Four. Ohio. Round, folks, to do get your guesses in as quickly as possible. Just getting along. YXAM, New York, New York. Name the TV show or movie. HG, that's 97.1 FM. Quahoe, Rhode Island. It's the home of Winnie and the Butt. Like, AGAB, that was in Dallas, Texas. Dark Ending, directed by Oliver Stone. That's your hint. Thank you. Moving on to WHOGT, Somewhere County, Georgia. The only station you get in the boonies. A little bit on this one. Oh, I didn't say that. You know, like most stupid trivia questions. All right, we're almost there, folks. Here we are at question number 9, PPPL 102.5 FM, 97 AM, Springfield, USA, the longest running radio station on television. Questions? And finally, for most of y'all, question number 10. KFRS-AFBN. Waking up with Adrian Kruger, rock and roll. TV show or possible movie. For folks who haven't started, if you get started now, all right, okay. And we'll find out who the winners are here. And if we have to do a tiebreaker, we'll do a really quick and dirty one. Lady, listen, you can.
Turning who did? This doesn't move.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, it's probably them bitching about something. They leave me the nastiest notes up there.
Sorry.
It's okay. Brain box, and you'd rather just find pictures to a piece of paper and get to win money. We do. Oh, we'll take them down. Don't you worry.
Poor girl looks like her eyes are too
There's
far apart.
something really messed up about her, and I love it. Except that I don't want it in my house anymore because I think she watches me when I sleep.
Hey,
She's like, "Guess what I'm gonna do to this cow?"
my cat looks at me when I sleep. So.
Oh God. All right, y'all have officially given up on the screen. This will be a tiebreaker, by the way. It looks beautiful. I'd love to go there. It just has nothing to do with the question. From Seattle with talk radio, self-help and such was from the show Frasier. Oh, some of them are working. That's kind of exciting. Well, I'm going to fly through these because y'all, you guys have been so patient tonight. KBHR in Sicily, Alaska. That was the show Northern Exposure. Northern Exposure. Remember that one? KFLH in San Fran. They love it when you call it Frisco, by the way. If you're ever down there, just like call it Frisco all the time. That was from the show Full House. Full House. Two of the uncles lived there. WKRP somewhere in Ohio was literally the show WKRP in Cincinnati. That was the name of the show. WNYX, New York, New York. That was from a show called News Radio. News Radio had David Spade. Actually, quite an awesome cast. It didn't last too long, but again, when you're doing something as weird as this round, you end up digging into some weird corners. WQHG from Quahog, Rhode Island. That was the Family Guy. Family Guy. KGAB from Dallas, Texas. That was a dark ending directed by Oliver Stone. So many of you guessed JFK, the movie. That's not correct, but it was an amazing guess, and I applaud you. He actually did a show in like the late 80s called Talk Radio, where everything goes terribly, terribly wrong at the end of the movie. I'll boo you. Go boo yourself. All right, WHOOG, Hog, from a mysterious county somewhere in Georgia. That was from Hazard County, Georgia, with the Dukes of Hazzard. Boss Hogg's radio station, W. Hall. Yeah. That was also my nickname in high school. They popped up quite a few of them. KBBL, KBabble, is the talk radio station on The Simpsons. Longest running animated show, anyway. And last but not least, number 10, I think a lot of y'all recognized because I gave you like 11 clues if you know the movie at all. It's Air Force Radio and Air Force Vietnam Radio. That was Good Morning Vietnam. This is not a test. This is rock and roll. Top Blue Delta to the TMZ. Viva Tanai. Oh, Viva Tanai. You guys, tonight was so clunky. Thank you all so much for your patience. Just so you know, I do work like 12 to 14 hours on these to try to make them real good for you. So when we have a night like tonight when things are so clunky, I'm just like, listen, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You know, I'm not mad though. I'm just disappointed. And spoiler alert, we will need a tiebreaker for third place tonight. Tiebreaker for third place. If you're one of these lovely teams over here, just imagine being there and don't worry about it. If you want to check your final score with me, you can come on up. I'll just get the top 4 though, unfortunately. Sorry. Sorry about it.
Thanks for trying.
I did my best, and it was really bad. It was like really bad, though. So all the teams over 30, Jumpers are the worst, got 30 points. Conquistadors got 33. LA Hope tied with the Buckle Harries for 34. They had 35 points. We had Clemente del Arte and Missoula Trivia Group with 36 points and tied for third. These two teams need to come up. Do you know the Merkin Man and the Quizzical Quokkas? Quizzical Quokkas and Do you know the Merkin Man? Come on up and grab one more sheet of paper. Non-officially in third place, not the sharpest bulb, had 40 points at the end of the night. They would be in third, but they have extra players. They should be very proud of themselves, though. In second place tonight, winning 20 points. Thanks, guys. Winning $20. The bar is only in Missoula with 41. And with 43, have a possible 50 points. Overthinkers Anonymous crushed it out tonight. So, do you know the Merkin Man? Quizzical Quokkas, have you guys got extra sheets? You don't want to miss out on this creepy, creepy little girl statue. She will haunt your dreams in all the fun ways. Who are you guys?
Yeah,
She's going to do something terrible to this little cow.
she's gonna buy us the basement.
Just to confirm that did both teams have a piece of paper? We got one. Who are you guys? Quiz. Do you know the Merkin Man? Do you guys have an extra sheet of paper? Okay, great. Here's a fun fact. How deep is Crater Lake in feet? How deep is Crater Lake, Oregon in feet? Remember how many feet deep Crater Lake in Oregon is? Oh, sorry, in case I didn't mention it, Overthinkers Anonymous did get first place. I think I did, but. So between our two third place teams, if you guys want to bring up your slips when you're ready, whoever is closest to the real answer, above or below, thank you, darling. Above or below, that'll get you this. I'm literally telling you there's something wrong with this girl. Did you guys see this? Look at this messed up little girl. What's she going to do to that cow? Look at that face. She has plans. I know, it creeps me out. Everybody else, thank you all so much for coming down. Love you, appreciate you. Sick of a few of you, but just a few. Should throw your name on it?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Ha! All right, we have one guest in already. The Merkin Man. Quizzical, we need your guess up as soon as possible, please. Thank you. All right, I'll take that from me. Also, Overthinkers Anonymous, come up and get your bang. All right, we have two guesses here. Do you know the Merkin Man? Guess 600 feet. Quizzical, I wish I had how to pronounce that. I should have asked you guys. The Quizzical team guessed 900 feet. The actual depth is 1,949 feet, meaning that the Quizzical team with 900 points is taking home this truly, like, I don't like her. Look at, she has plans for this cow. Dude, look at her. She's going to do something so effed up to that cow. Right? No, the more you look, the more fucked up it is. I know I've been looking at it for a couple of weeks on a shelf in my house. And I was like, get out of my house, you weirdo. I don't think it would help much. I think it's the wide set eyes and just the fact she's like, that smile is like, I'm going to eat you alive.
Terrible.
It's like she's looking at,
Give us thanks.
don't mind me, I'm doing something terrible.
I'm into it.
What did you guess?
Change.
What was it? 1,200 feet?
Yeah.
I think it's
Dude,
the
that's too bad.
deepest west of the Mississippi, something like that. Yeah.
So they have to go deal with
Oh, you guys missed out on the creepy ass little cowgirl.
it. Was like, but it was like
You didn't miss out on the creepy little.
oh no, we
You wouldn't want it anywhere near. Oh.
No, but it was.
They have a whole collection of creepy shit that they.
Dave on our team collects all the third place prizes, and he has like this like shrine at work with
Just
all the
gross, dumb, icky. I mean, you can maybe get it off those guys, but
Collect $30 gift cards.
I think it's the deep. Wait, what's the? I think it's. Hold on. There's some fun fact about it. Oh yes, thank you. Go for it.
I know. It's like convince everybody to make it less.
cut it in half.
It's the deepest lake in the United States
Very cool.
at 1,900,
But
which is what, just a little over about a third of a mile, or
Alright, so it's my meditation.
yeah, no, yeah. I know. Listen again. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Just desperately disappointed. I did get your note. Yeah, I'll give you a ring. I'll give you a text.
Tell me no, but it's just.
No, frankly, okay, here's the deal. I do this every week. Do you know how hard it is to keep coming up with, like, we got down to fictional radio stations. I'm dragging the bottom of the barrel here. Oh, no. And I was like, they get clues too. I don't expect anybody just to know, like, besides WKRP. I was like, there's no way to know. Yeah. All right. Love your face. Yeah, I'll give you a text. We'll figure something out. Plenty, yeah. Nothing. Struggle busing. I love aches from my head down to my legs. Remember that? You gotta love it, the incredible edible aid. I didn't have friends, but boy, do I know people from Phoenix. Hey, thanks for your patience tonight, you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Cincinnati, WKRP. It was only off for like a year or two, wasn't it? I don't think it lasted a long time. I thought it was Cincinnati. Yeah.
That's the harmonized.
I thought it was kind of a jazz and. I trust your memory better than mine, let's be honest.
The radio version of
Only 45 minutes later. Don't you lie. Oh, yeah, you still be here, but yeah. Have a good one, guys. A little butthurt. They have a collection of